People are calling First Lady Jill Biden a monster who's committing elder abuse as she forces President Joe Biden to continue with his losing campaign.
I have never seen anything like it in all my time covering politics or being in the news. And I said after that debate on Thursday night, he's done. His candidacy ended tonight. And I stand by that. At this point, Piers, he's like the deer that got hit in a catastrophic road accident that has a few extra steps in him as he runs off to die on the side of the road. And I don't mean literally die in Biden's case, but his candidacy is dead. Whether he knows it or not, he's just doing those last final steps.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, the Democrats are turning on him. The congressional leaders, the donors, the governors, everyone's requiring reassurance. The dam is already breaking with some top Democrats coming out openly saying he's got to get out. Kamala Harris just passed him in the betting odds as the person most likely to be the Democratic nominee. You can feel the tide shifting, and it's irreversible.
Jill's recent Vogue magazine certainly showed her in a certain light with what some people called a tone-deaf silk cream Ralph Lauren dress that retails for about $4,990. And it certainly sparked outrage from many Republicans on social media.
We're assuming Biden is going to be replaced. It's not happened yet. And of course, if he digs his heels in and says, I'm not going anywhere, then it may be they can't do it, under the rules of the Democratic Party. Where does Jill Biden sit in all this, Dr. Biden? Because I watched that debate from start to finish with a mounting sense of real bemusement why any spouse, a younger spouse in particular, would allow their older, beloved other half to be humiliated like that on a global stage. And she must have known that this was highly likely to happen, because from all the reports now coming out, as the media finally takes its blinkers off, this is not a one-off. This has been what he's been like quite regularly in the last few months and 2 years or so. What do you think of Jill Biden's role here and her responsibilities?
I think she's been exposed as a power-hungry aspirant herself to political power. She is on the cover of Vogue magazine right now.
Yeah.
Why? Because she wants to promote herself. She tweeted out a photo of herself sitting in the president's chair not long ago when he was preparing for the G7 meeting with his chair hanging over the back of the chair. She's not the damn president. Get out of the chair. No one wants you at the G7. No one elected you to lead us politically. And a couple of years ago, I did a bit that went viral on how she insists on being called Dr. Jill Biden everywhere. And all these left-wingers got upset with me. She is a doctor. She's got her PhD. She's in education, what have you. I don't make fun of that degree. My own father had that degree. But my father would never have insisted somebody call him Dr. Kelly. He went by professor, and that was a title he'd earned. Why does she insist on it? Because she's power hungry. Because she has a small, fractured ego that she needs built up. She needs the affirmation of strangers to give her an honorarium that really means almost nothing. The only people who get to be called doctor legitimately, I understand, no disparaging of the degree, are medical doctors. If you can't say, yes, I will resuscitate him when he has a heart attack on a plane, stop using that label. When you get introduced at a book club or on The View, which is what she does, all right? And I do think it's tied to what we're seeing now, the big reveal about her. She's power hungry. She wants it. What did we see from her on debate night? We saw her take the stage and guide the president of the United States down the stairs like a mama would of a toddler, like you and I both did when our kids were babies. And then after the debate, that clip that was everywhere with her saying, "You did it. You answered all the questions." Again, speaking to her the way I speak to my dog when he sits on command.
It really was.
This is the leader of the free world. She knows how infirm he is. She wants a shadow presidency. And let me tie it to one other thing. The reports are out this week that Hunter Biden,
I know, this is incredible that he's advising him,
is at the White House and attending all the meetings with the president.
As
what, our new shadow president? Right, exactly. Because Joe Biden can't do it. And so on deck is the drug-addled, corrupt felon son? hard no.
I mean, so this is Joe Biden featured on the cover of Vogue's August issue. Now, the cover story, it offers a glimpse into the Biden White House and 2024 campaign, and it paints a picture of a first lady who stands steadfastly with her husband amid growing concerns about his age from their party. Now, in response to the Vogue cover, Jimmy Fallon, a Fox News host, he wrote on X, formerly Twitter, Melania Trump is an actual supermodel who speaks 5 languages, but she's never been on the cover of Vogue. Joe Biden, on the other hand, commits vicious elder abuse on the world stage and now has 2 Vogue covers to show for it. Congratulations, Jill. You'll be great in The Devil Wears Depends, as opposed to The Devil Wears Prada, if you guys remember that old school movie. Anyway, so Newsmax's Rob Schmidt wrote, nice puff piece on the most valueless person in America and her bid to keep her corpse-like husband in the White House to stay relevant. She says, in this magazine, we don't need more chaos, but many critics would argue that Jill Biden is one of our country's top chaos agents. She's a woman who is reportedly encouraging her visibly frail husband by telling him and us that he should keep running this country. Then again, there's the lingering question of who could really be running the country, because based on that CNN presidential debate, it's definitely not Joe Biden. Tell me if you guys see this too. I mean, there's no way I'm the only one that's seeing this. It seems like there's a strong effort to support Joe Biden despite his concerns about his capabilities, and it's not just about one debate. But more importantly, the bigger picture that most people are seeing is this push for more power, more control, with accusations that Democrats want to step aside the Constitution for stricter rules. In fact, some people actually say that they will use any means necessary, including suppressing free speech, the Second Amendment, to achieve their goals. There's also this chatter that Joe Biden isn't the one that's pulling the strings. Instead, others, including Joe Biden, might be making the big decisions behind the scenes. Now, this situation could be seen as a threat to national security, as enemies like Putin and China see the U.S. as weak and vulnerable. Meanwhile, the media is basically being criticized for glossing over Biden's health issues and focusing elsewhere, which some believe is a way for them to push their own agenda. This approach is concerning not just politically, but for the nation's security and the overall integrity of our democracy. So the lack of openness about Biden's real conditions and the narrative being shaped by those in power, they're seen as a real disregard for truth and for the well-being of our country. And that's where we come in, guys. So we're going to go ahead and shine a light on all this mess, and we're looking at the real truth of what's really happening with Joe Biden and Jill Biden. I hope you guys are ready for this. So first, here's First Lady Jill Biden after the debate, trying to cheer up Joe like he's in preschool. I know. Yeah, seriously. Check this out, guys.
Joe, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the facts. And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie! Yes.
Now, again, the question remains, guys, who's really running this country, you know? So this was after the debate when Jill Biden walked on stage to greet her husband. Now, it would have been fine, except this video surfaced online of her later standing next to him and basically telling the crowd how Trump did nothing but lie. But see, even CNN's count showed Biden made at least 9 false or misleading statements during the debate. Conservatives on X ripped into the First Lady for the speech that she gave after the debate. End wokeness. A conservative X account wrote, Joe Biden is a monster. Riley Gaines, a conservative activist, wrote, Joe Biden is certifiably terrifying. All while Joe sits and waits for his juice box. Then Peter Henling, a self-described political junkie, wrote, probably not a good idea to have Joe Biden talk to Biden like he's a toddler on national television after the performance he just had. So he is the president of the United States, not a kid who turned in his homework. Others, meanwhile, pointed to a video of the First Lady leading her husband off the debate stage. Former ESPN host Sage Steele described it as shame on Joe Biden for allowing this to go on for so long. Shameful actions as a wife, shameful actions as a human being. Biden and Trump are expected to face off in a second debate on September 10th as the two remain the presumptive nominees for their respective political parties. But I don't know, guys. Trump may have this in the bag. I mean, I definitely know a lot of people that are saying already how they will be voting for the guy that lost his wealth for our country, not the guy that's going to lose use our country for his wealth. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you guys are finding this discussion intriguing and you want to keep up with all the latest updates and insights on this particular topic, make sure you guys hit the like button. It really does help out the channel. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel, turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on any future videos. I got a lot more analyses, interviews, and real-time reactions to the political landscape that you guys do not want to miss. And your engagements, they mean that we can continue to deliver the content that matters to you guys. So let's go ahead and get back to discussing Jill Biden and her real role of this country. So stick around. I look at these dual covers and I'm reminded of what my uncle said. This administration is pure evil. Evil, he repeated. And after President Biden's rough debate performance on CNN, even the media had to admit that our 46th president seemed lost and confused, or more precisely, like a toddler, like a lost toddler. But then there's Vogue, which seems to be like a PR machine for the Democrats these days. They couldn't halt the presses and basically rolled out their latest issue with Joe Biden on the cover, wearing a very luxurious $4,900 Ralph Lauren dress. The magazine hit the internet on Monday morning and it landed what some would describe as a cringeworthy thud. People are saying that the timing was just tone deaf and tacky. Even if the shoot and the interview had been done months ago, it would have still been a mess. I mean, Joe Biden had the nerve to say that we don't need more chaos, despite being part of an administration often criticized for its chaotic approach. And perhaps most chaotic of all is how the woman just keeps encouraging her visibly frail husband by telling him and telling us that he should keep running the country. Now, the article kind of paints her as a tireless every woman, the president's eyes in tears. In her words, she said that she knows food prices are up, mentioning that she shops for her own groceries in Wilmington, Delaware, and still teaches at a community college in Virginia. Now, Vogue is trying to depict her as a down-to-earth Dr. B who assigns articles instead of books to her students because books are expensive. Seems like she's pretty down to earth wearing a $5,000 outfit, don't you think? Now, she claims to gather and feed Joe intel, saying that she tells him what she's seeing, what she's hearing, and he gets it. And this is where the magic happens. But let's face it, guys, there's nothing magical about her guiding him through basic tasks to make him seem capable. Now, as you guys saw earlier, after the debate, Jill told Joe that he did such a great job, kind of like how you would praise a kid for using the potty. And of course, the article also leans into the old Democratic mantra of democracy is on the line, with Jill warning that this campaign's urgency is different and it's crucial for drawing a line in the sand against all this vitriol. Yet, the writer didn't address Joe Biden's advanced age or the obvious physical and mental toll that it's taken on him as the incumbent who is prone to fall, freeze, and mumble. An online editor's note was added to the last minute to address the debate disaster. Jill declared that the Biden family will not let this 90 minutes define the last 4 years that he's been president. They will continue to fight. Kind of reminds you of the deluded confidence reminiscent of Apollo Creed right before his rematch with Ivan Drago. But see, the issue isn't the past 4 years. It's the next 4. At 81 years old, Biden's best days are clearly behind him. This is a fact to both the Bidens and the public. But despite this, the Biden family, led by Jill and their son Hunter, they act as if they're entitled to a second term, as if we're living in the United States of Biden rather than America. So Jill claimed that her husband would always do what's best for the country, except step down, of course. Now, most families would take the keys away from a loved one when they see signs of decline, but the Bidens opt for a glamorous photo shoot and support of celebrities like George Clooney in order to maintain their grip on their power. As one article put it, they're arrogantly operating in a bygone era when glamour moved voters, relying on showbiz and fashion to try to make their desired illusion a reality. Interestingly enough, though, Vogue profile starts by highlighting the intoxicating nature of power, describing a motorcade ride with the Bidens that kind of feels like the world is holding its breath for them and where rules don't even apply. But time catches up with everyone, and Biden's mental decline is evident. Now, unfortunately, he may be remembered not for his earlier political prowess, but for his confused and doddering state. But yeah, kind of looks like the Bidens have their priorities, and now Dr. Jill can add another Vogue cover to her collection. It's her third. So let's see, maybe these covers will provide some comfort when she watches Trump's acceptance speech. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty clear that the First Lady is stepping up to handle a lot of things that her husband no longer can. And it looks like she's not too eager to give up that role. You guys remember former First Lady Edith Wilson, who pretty much took over presidential duties when Woodrow Wilson had a stroke back in 1919, all while keeping the public in the dark. Today, though, keeping this kind of secret would be a lot harder to do with all the media coverage. And after last Thursday's debate, it's become painfully obvious what those that are close to the president have been trying to cover up. Despite the rough night though, Joe Biden, she wants us to believe that all is well and that the president just had an off moment. But let's be real, guys. There's plenty of qualified Democrats who could step in if Biden decides to step down. For instance, you got Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer's name. It's been floating around as a potential replacement after the debate among many other donors and party officials who were pretty shaken by Biden's performance. Now, Whitmer even had to call a senior Biden campaign official to quell any rumors that she was behind the chatter. Yet, she also reportedly said that after the debate, Michigan is unwinnable for Biden. A new poll following the debate from CBS News YoungGov national survey found that 72% of voters don't believe Biden has the mental and cognitive health to serve as president. This is up 7 points from early June. Similarly, a USA Today Suffolk University poll shows that 41% of Democrats think that their party should replace Biden as a nominee. And it really doesn't stop there either, guys. The Wall Street Journal reported that multiple European leaders have noticed and they've been concerned about Biden's deterioration even before Thursday's debate. So yeah, regardless of what the Biden family is trying to do, it really does seem like the secret's out. American voters and the world can see that Biden just is not up for the job anymore. You can dislike Trump all you want, but that doesn't change the fact that Democrats are in the mess that they're in. Now, it's pretty clear that the story of the Bidens is as complex as it is controversial. Now, if you guys found this analysis thought-provoking or even helpful to you in any way, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with all of our latest videos, guys. I want you guys to know that it's your engagement, guys, that really helps us kind of keep the lights on and keep the content flowing to you. And if you enjoyed today's breakdown, you definitely do want to check out our other video that's titled The Most Epic 7 Minutes of Joe Biden and Joy Reid Destroyed by Tucker Carlson. It is a must-watch filled with critical insights and fiery exchanges that continue to stir the pot in today's political discourse. So just go ahead and click the link down below. Watch it right after this video. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep the conversations going in the comments. And remember, guys, staying informed is key to understanding this ever-evolving political landscape. So I'll see you guys on the next video. Till then, stay vigilant.